And
Yes.
that's how we're going to do that.
Alrighty, I'm going to spotlight for myself and setting up the meeting. Okie dokie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello to each and every one of you. I am so super excited to be here today. I'm going to spotlight myself for a hot minute before we get this party going. And happy Saturday to you and also you. I am Stars Tina. I'm super excited, super grateful to be here this morning. And as I'm looking at myself, this is my mirror for the day, and I just noticed there's two different earrings, which was done on purpose, not really on purpose, but it's done. I'm here today for my book launch. I've been talking about this for about 8 weeks now. For those of you that are watching this, this is the actual book. It's on Amazon. It's also on Barnes & Noble. And for the past 8 weeks, I have been doing a workshop on YouTube, sharing a little bit about the book in each chapter. Today is just going to be very loving, very warm. I just have to be honest, and I've said to some people, I was actually thinking of canceling because things didn't kind of flow how I wanted them to flow. And I realized this was actually just a test from God, right? I feel God tends to just humble me because there's many things that have been happening, and it's just like, girl, get it together. It's okay. So I want to share why I actually decided to write this kid's book, because I never imagined that I would do it. For those of you that don't know, I am Stars Tina, otherwise known as Tina. And a lot of people say, well, how did you come up with that name, Stars Tina? And back in the day, I used to have a modeling company for kids, and we did fashion shows, pageants, you name it, all those things. And I always gave everyone a nickname. Everybody had a nickname. If you didn't have a nickname, you just kind of didn't fit in. And Dimitri, he was like, Miss Tina, we need to call you something. And he'd call me Star. And I was just like, I don't know about that. And because when you think of star, you think of big, right? You think of ginormous. And I was just like, I don't know if I'm a star. And when I changed to fitness, because I closed my modeling company down, then I got into fitness full time, I started Stars Tina. I'm like, I love stars. So Stars Tina, when I think of stars, I think of shoot for the moon, and if you fall, you're still amongst the stars. So that's why I think of Stars Tina. When Stars Tina comes out, that's like Beyonce and Sasha Fierce. That's my other side. So Stars Tina, I'm a life and health coach. Coaching is true to my heart. I love it. I love giving back. I'm also an author, which I never imagined I would be in a million years, and speaker. I've always loved to speak, but when it comes to public speaking and sharing my story, I realized that when people share their story, when they share a little bit about themselves and other people can relate to them, it just makes a huge difference in the world. And because I shared my biggest traumedy, I actually won an Emmy Award, which blew my mind, right? Traumedy, you guys are probably saying, what is that? Is that comedy? Traumedy is a word that I actually trademarked last year, actually a year and a half ago. And a traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. I say that with a super deep pause because it's not a popular conversation. It's not a cute conversation. It's not things people really like to talk about. But I have been gifted by God, I say, to be able to have the strength, to have the courage, to have the power to push through so many traumedies in my life. And because I was able to do this, I've found that people tend to look up to me. They're like, oh, if you did it, I can do it too. So with my first book, and if someone can pass me, never mind, I got it. Doesn't matter. It is what it is, right? This was my very first book that I did, No More Traumedy. And I did this book because my coach was like, Tina, you need to write a book. And I was like, I don't need to write a book. But this book right here will change your life. Why? Because it's all the mistakes, all the things that I learned from my major traumedy, which was 8.5 years ago. February 26th, 27th, 25th, one of those dates that's kind of a blurred time of my life. 2016 was when my 21-year-old son was murdered. And from that time to now, I've learned so many things. And in this book, it shares how I pushed through all those terrible traumas and tragedies and pain. And I say that to say, because if I would have known all this stuff in this book 9 years ago, my life would look a lot different. I would probably still be married. My home life would be different. Everything would be different. Now, I don't regret the way my life is now. I'm very grateful because I'm able to teach other women. This book came out last year, November. I was excited. I was like, yay, I wrote my first book. And can I just tell you, covers for me are the hardest part of the book. First of all, I didn't want my face on the book. I just felt that it was like showy. And someone said, well, Tina, it's your brand, right? So when I finished this book, I love speaking, and I have a nonprofit program as well for boys. And that is because my son stated when he was alive, if he ever died, he wanted a nonprofit after himself to help children. So I did it. And last year when the book came out, I went to the superintendent's office in Rahway. I said, I just want to speak to the kids. I want to give them some tips of how to come over traumas and tragedies. And she says, well, do you speak to girls? And I said to myself, oh my goodness. Because remember, I had a modeling company. So I went to one school and I just wrote out some stuff. I'm a life and health coach. So what I do for adults, I just kind of brought it a little simpler for children. And at the end, I could see the sparkle in their eyes. I could see them at the edge of their seats because I listened to them, right? A lot of adults don't really listen to children, so they feel like they don't have a voice, and they got to share their dreams, their goals, their aspirations. So that's a really great feeling to give them hope. And that same day, I got an email from another school. Can you speak at our school? Now, mind you, I don't live in New Jersey. So I'm like, sure, I can do it. And the feeling that I got, I can't even explain it. It's just, all I can say is the Holy Ghost came into me and said, girl, you're not doing more. So my good friend Renee and I, we decided to just put together some type of curriculum for the schools. And I figured, well, I'm coming back again in actually, this happened in February. That's when we first spoke, because I spoke at the school for Black History Month and sneaker ball, like a whole bunch of things I did. So I said, you know what, let's make a 4-part series and come back every 3 months. I did that. It was amazing. And I did the both schools. And the last time I came back was in May of this year. Now, this is how Tina works. Tina works like this, okay? And nobody got time to waste, because I'm just like, the Lord has put us on this earth for, I have no idea how long. And as long as I'm here, I want to make a huge impact. I want that, you have a rock and you throw it and it's that ripple effect. That's what I am. I'm that huge ripple effect. So everything I'm sharing with you, I can't believe it, all happened this year. Wow. That's really just hitting hard to me, because you hear people say, I want to write a book, and they take 10, 5, 20 years. It was done this year. February, I spoke. We probably started in May, right in the chat, Renee, if you remember when we actually started. But anyway, my last time with the kids, I did like a recap. Hey, I'm back. And I said, one little boy, he was so cute. He's like, Miss Tina, I'm still doing my I am statements every morning, because I taught the morning rituals and all sorts of things. And then my beautiful client slash friend, brain freeze, help me out, old age. Joanne. Thank you. Joanne, she was a teacher in the Rahway School District, and we always talked about different things, and she shared how she would ask the children their emotions, and she'd have this emoji board, and every day she'd have them write how they feel, and I was like, oh, that's cute. So I took that to the school, and at the last session, I held up the board, and I said, okay, children, what happens when you don't tap into your emotions? It's about 75 children in this room, and they're all looking up at me, and their eyes are just full of joy. They just want to learn, learn, learn. And I'm like, okay, what happens when you don't? And this little girl raises her hand, and she says, with a very faint voice, very calmly, when you don't tap into your feelings, you can commit suicide and die. It was a very long pause. I looked around the room. In my mind, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna say? There was a principal and a teacher, and everyone's just looking at me as if I'm God, as if I'm gonna give them all these wonderful answers, right? And I just simply said, really, girl? That's how we're gonna start this day off? You guys are really throwing the tough questions, and the questions kept getting tougher. One child said he was nervous about guns in school. Another kid had to open up his locker, and I'm just like, God, why are you doing this to me? And at that moment, I realized I'm not doing enough. And that's where I decided I'm going to write a book. And then I decided to do a program. A back to school event. And we did it in September. Now this is from May to September. Huge event. It was absolutely beautiful. Again, your vibe is your tribe. I'm going to say that all the time, because if it wasn't for my tribe, none of this would have happened. The event that we had, and I see Natasha in the building, and Belle. if you connect with one person, it's a ripple effect, right? So today we're not going to be on here long because we have to get to Newark for a book signing in a few. And I wanted a few people to just hop on and share their thoughts about the book, me, anything they've learned. This is actually the book right here. And we did lots of revisions. Again, Joanne, thank you for the editing skills. I wanted to go a lot deeper. So this book is a combination for adults with the child. You really don't want the child to do it by itself. So in the very first chapter, my goal was to get into the brain and how it works. Because yeah, it's cool to do the yoga, the meditation, the journal, all that stuff right there, but I wanted the real stuff, right? So Renee actually did chapter 1, and in chapter 1, it goes over why we think the way we do, how the brain works, and children, their brains are not fully developed until about their 20s. So they're not understanding everything. They're not, accepting and the way things work. So she talks about that in chapter 1. I'm not saying it's boring. I'm not saying that. It's a lot. It's good. But that's chapter 1. And then each chapter breaks down the program that we have. So the first chapter, we talk about vision boards, right? A lot of children don't know what vision boards are. I've been doing vision boards for over 10 years now. And raise your hand right in the chat. You guys ever do vision boards? Hey, girl! Vision boards, I have to share this quick story with you. My daughter, we were after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's Eve, we would do vision boards. And if you don't know what it is, I can send you a link because I have videos beyond videos, workbooks, ebooks on how to do vision boards because it's deep for me. And we were all cutting out pictures. My mother would get magazines. And I remember when we first started doing vision boards, my mother was against it. I'm not saying she was against it, she just didn't do it. And she would just sit there on the couch, just looking at us. I think she just wanted to be around us, but she didn't participate. It was me and my daughter. It was cutting, and Elisa was running around. And my daughter's cutting out pictures, and I'm cutting out pictures, and we have these big posters. And then she starts jumping up and down, and she's screaming. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She's like, hold on, hold on. She's got a Shape magazine in front of her, and she says, I was looking in this magazine, because, that's my goal. I want to be in a magazine, and I'm already in the magazine. Her picture was in the magazine already. I said, girl, you're not thinking big enough. You got to think bigger, right? Sometimes in life, we think small. I'm not saying being in a fitness magazine is small. For her, it was small because she was already in the magazine. Do you understand? I realized that day, we have to stretch our minds. We have to surround ourselves with people that are going to stretch our minds. And you know what happens? When you stretch your mind, you can never go back to where you came from. Like we have beautiful Nimi. Did I say your name properly? Yeah. She has a yoga studio in Rahway, New Jersey. And I'm sure that was a very scary thing to do. But you have to connect and stay connected with people that are going to keep lifting you up. So we teach the children how to do vision boards. Hi, Belle. How you doing? That's another publisher coming through. She's going to have her Kidz book coming through soon. And yeah, so I'm not going to go through the whole book because you can actually, Renee, if you want to put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to purchase the book. And I'm going to end my little spiel with this thing right here. Everyone talks about Amazon bestseller, this, that, and the other. And someone said to me, you can pay me $3,000 and I'll publish your book and I'll make you an Amazon bestseller. And I'm like, okay, why am I writing this book? Am I writing it because I want to be an Amazon bestseller? Or am I writing it because I want to change the world? I want to support the children. I realized it's for the children. And it's already a bestseller because we've been using this book for a while. So I would like to start with Renee, since she has been hands-on with me from day one with this. But even this morning, I'm like, girl, is it in Walmart yet? She's like, it's not there yet. And Renee, I would love for you to share just a bit your thoughts on the book, the process, all that great stuff. And, it's just all about collaboration. So Renee, I'm going to put you through, and then after you, we will have Concetta. You're up, Renee.
Yes. So let me just say that this has been the greatest labor of love that I believe we've done so far. And the reason why I believe that is because we are empowering children. One thing I noticed last school year when we started this, the kids want to be heard. And you, with this program, have taught them that they do have a voice. And this book is extending that so that they have hands-on understanding of what you teach in the programs, that teachers, any kind of educator, parents, aunts, that they can continue on that process. And the benefit of this is that you are teaching them through this book that they are not a product of their circumstances, they are a product of their choices. And that is why I'm so proud of this, and I'm proud of you for enduring and getting this message out there.
Well, Renee, I thank you for putting up with me because I'm a lot. Let's just say it like that. Concetta, I'm gonna pull you up. Now, I talk about your vibe is your tribe, right? If anyone here, if you don't know who Lisa Nichols is, you're sleeping on a rock. And I have always been a huge fan of Lisa Nichols. A couple years ago, every single morning I would listen to one of her motivational videos, and Renee was on a hunt to try to find her. She's like, she's not speaking anymore. And this current year, again, this all happened this year, she did a 5-day free speaking challenge, speaking challenge, and I did it. And I tend to do the most. I was living in Texas at the time, and every day we had to make videos. And this particular day, Texas is hot. I was just feeling homesick, and you ever get like a blanket, and a blanket makes you feel warm? Like, I want a blankie, but I didn't have a blanket, and we wear onesies during Christmas, and I had this onesie that looked like Mickey Mouse with the Mickey Mouse ears. And I don't know what in the world made me wear that. So I had this Mickey Mouse pajamas thing on during the Lisa Nichols program, and you raise your hand to speak, and guess who she picks? She picks me with this Mickey Mouse thingamajig on, and you have to share your story, and they call it the Valley, and the Valley is you give them a high, like the high is, I've transformed 30,000 lives, I've won an Emmy, blah, 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 and then I go down to my low and then bring it back up. So I say my story, and I'm good, all right? And then Lisa Nichols tells my story. Can we just say she was amazing? She crushed it. Long story short, I signed up for her program. I got to meet her in person. Again, goals, dreams, aspirations, visions. You have to visualize what you want. Forever, I was like, there's my girl, Kim. Forever, I was like, I'm going to see Lisa Nichols. Not only did I get to meet her and see her, I got to party with her, right? And when you're around people that uplift you, it just changes your life. And this woman here, look at her. I got to meet her when I went to California with Lisa Nichols. So all the way from Hawaii, we are now collabing. We're going to be doing some work together. Concetta, we want to hear from you, Mama.
Thank you, everybody. I'll start by saying I have an absolute passion for families. And it began with my upbringing. It blows my mind how I can still see my father's eyes. They spoke encouragement to me. You can do anything you want to do. And I believed him. From biochemical toxicologist to international flight attendant to owner of a Japanese educational franchise called Kumon, where I got the privilege of teaching math and reading mastery to children, to being the owner of a private elementary school in the Midwest. I parlayed that confidence from my father into a persona. I'm Auntie Concetta, the relationship success coach committed to empowering mothers. I believe that when mothers thrive, families and communities flourish. My goal is to positively impact 1 million families, entering each household through the hearts of mothers. As founder and CEO of Transformational Mother, a global membership-based parent coaching enterprise, we are spearheading a movement of improvement for families around the globe. And this brings me here to Stars Tina. I am eager to collaborate and to promote Traumedy for the benefit of young ones around the world. I've helped hundreds of mothers by listening and encouraging and guiding for growth. And I'm looking now to do more of that and to cooperate and collaborate with such quality programs such as this. That's what brings me here. And congratulations, Stars Tina.
Thank you. Make some noise for Consetta. Girl, come through. Fire, fire. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. I don't know if it's this. Okay, I don't say that anymore. I used to say that. The Holy Spirit has told me we're having some type of retreat to Hawaii. So we already talked about it. She said, if anyone wants to go next year, we're going to do something in Hawaii. Thank you for rolling through, hon.
You're welcome.
All righty. Before I go to our next person, is there anyone there that would like to pop on? Stop video. No, remove spot. That would like to share? If so, raise your hand and I can put that in there. Someone said they heard that too. I'm going to put her on the spotlight. Mommy, I'm pulling you through because this outfit, she said to me, Tina, I got you this outfit for when you speak. So Mommy, I'm wearing your outfit. I will take a picture of it later. I always make fun of her. But you get an opportunity to share, Mommy.
You look amazing as usual, daughter.
Thank you.
I am so proud of you. I want to be there, but you know I don't like cold. So I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking of when you was a little girl and your original wanting to be a school teacher and was discouraged by a school teacher. And look where you end up back, teaching kids again. So what God's plan for you was the plan. I love you and I'm so proud of you.
I love you. And thank you for last week. My mother, my daughter, and Renee, they just showed out. Let me tell you. It was my birthday. I decided every year we're having a Friendsgiving, and whew, I don't think I partied that hard in my life, and I didn't even drink. My mother was on the dance floor. It was wonderful. So thank you all for coming to Florida. It was beautiful. And thank you for rolling through today, Mommy.
Thank you.
All right, so I've got this woman I'm gonna have come through here and chat, and it's crazy because you can know people for your entire life, right? Did you get my text message?
No.
Okay. Check your text messages. Okay. There's people that you meet and you could know them for your whole life and they don't give, and you can meet someone right away and they just like make a huge change. And I met this person yesterday, but before I talk about her, I have to talk about the program of how I met her, right? Because I always say your vibe is your tribe, the people that you surround yourself with. This year, I joined this program called Traffic, Sales, and Profits by Lamar Tyler. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a wannabe entrepreneur, anything like that, you want to join this program, especially if you're a Black human, because his goal is to just make 126, I think, six-figure earners, such and such. He's amazing. And he has 3 tiers in his business. I just started. And this woman, I met her yesterday in person for the second time. Because the first time was at the airport, just like a hi. And yesterday I had the opportunity to speak in Jersey City at a high school, which went wonderful. Let me tell you, it was only 45 minutes, but it was back to back to back to back. So it was kind of like, it was a lot, but it was amazing. And she came and we spoke after, and then I was telling her about today, how I was thinking of not doing it because nothing went as planned, right? From the banner to the car breaking down, so couldn't get the food, you name it, getting the order, nothing went as planned. So I was like, I'm just gonna cancel this. And everyone was like, no, Tina, push through. And then she says, well, who's coming there to help you out? And I was like, no, okay, I didn't say it like that, but that's how my heart was. I was like, I don't have anyone to help me. Because then I have to go to another place after this. And she's like, she doesn't even live close. She lives in Jersey City, which is like 45 minutes from here. And she says, I'll come and help you if you want. I'm like, really? You don't even know me, right? She doesn't know, she's known me, literally we talked for maybe 2 hours, but it's that vibration, right? That tribe, just like Consetta, your vibe is your tribe. And she came here to support me and we're going to another place after. So I just want her to share a little bit of who she is, what she does, and why she decided to help out the children and myself. So I'm gonna roll you guys over to.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rashida Frazier, and I am the founder and CEO of Empowering Greatness Incorporated. And that is literally a consulting business coaching firm that I started 12 years ago with the intent of actually teaching high school students about entrepreneurship and leadership, which then flipped into this lovely pivot over the years of working in corporate settings, doing professional development, doing career coaching, and so many other amazing things, and speaking like Tina. And, fast forward, needing a shift like, 10, 12 years later in the business, working in a lot of corporate settings, doing a lot of amazing things, helping businesses grow, structure, organize, helping nonprofits do the same. I'm actually back where I started, and that is teaching entrepreneurship and leadership in schools again. And I met Tina, like she said, in an airport. We met through our business group, and I was just like, oh, she's amazing. She's, got a good vibe. And I have this list of people because I'm really intentional about networking and who I connect with. So I put her on the list, and I said, I will eventually get to her and just say hello. I just wanted to know who she was because her energy was infectious. She was amazing. I was like, oh, I like her. Yeah, right? I got on my plane, I went home. Fast forward, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I'm on the phone with someone else who I don't know who knows her that says, hey, you need to meet Tina because I think you guys would vibe. And I was like, stars Tina? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I follow her. And she said, yeah, she's gonna, she's doing all of this amazing stuff. He talked her up. And I just thought it was, oh, okay, well, she's on my list. So kind of like what she said about her vision boards and being able to see and thinking big, you never know. If you meet great people, put them on a list, figure out how to connect with them and just do that. So I didn't know when it was going to happen. I just said, I'm going to see her again and I want to remember her. And when we met yesterday, I was blown away again. And I was like, oh, wow, we so are alike in different ways. She's a lot more vocal than I am, but I could probably learn that because I need to be more visible. But background wise, everything. And I was just like, she gets moved over on the list. I'm keeping her. And when I heard that she didn't really have anybody to help her and to try to travel with her, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as somebody who wants to write a book and who decided that in 2025, I am writing a book, which you didn't know, but you're gonna help me write this book now.
Yep, and publishing and everything.
Yeah,
I got 3, so I got
listen,
you.
we gonna write these books this year. And now I have to do it because I said it online, live on YouTube.
In Hawaii,
in Hawaii
Texas,
and
all
Texas
over.
and everywhere else. So accountability, guys, hold me accountable. If you don't see this book by year end 2025, I want y'all to come for me, like seriously, come for me and be like, you didn't do what you said you were gonna do. But no, the reason why I came out to help her today is simple. When you see other like-minded people doing great things, when you see people willing to share, willing to do the things that they do genuinely from their heart, how do you not help them? And I think in the world that we live in, a lot of times, we see people doing things and we just go, oh, that's great, good luck. But nobody thinks to maybe say, how can I help you? And it's just sometimes that little notch of how can I help you that makes all the difference. And we could never speak again and I would still have no regrets because she's dope, she's amazing, she's touching people, she's touching adult lives, she's touching children's lives. And to me, that's just enough. And God puts people in my lap and says, I need you to help this person. I don't ask questions. I just follow the assignment. I complete. So she's my assignment for today. And I appreciate that. Yeah. So I am happy to be here to support her. And I will echo this. I'm already selling her book to people who are not here. So if you are on, I encourage everyone to share that link with every single person that you know, because they know someone, even if they can't use the book, who would need the book and who would need the lessons within both books for her first book and the one for the children. So just keep that energy going for her.
Thank you,
We're
Mama.
gonna make her successful.
Woo, woo, woo. All righty, I'm ready to end this if I'm being honest, so I can just like spend time with them in real life. So if there's anyone who would like to share, I see Marcella in the building. Hey, girl, hey. I see Carla. If you want to say anything, I'm going to give you, they say like I talk too fast, so I'm just going to pause. If you want to say something on mic, or raise your hand and I can pull you through. But I'm just grateful that this is over and super excited for 2025. And I decided, we had our little talk yesterday for 2020. I'm not pausing, I'm just gonna know new things. I'm just gonna fine tune everything because we've got this book, and how's it gonna change the world and like that whole thing. So Renee, Mommy, give me a thumbs up if you guys are good. If you wanna share anything, go for it, because I told you. All righty. Thank you all for rolling through. I'm gonna hop out of here and spend some in-person time with these people here. Thank you all for rolling through. Bye.